Well, pretty much absolutely no surprise to anyone. Nikki Haley announced to a crowd yesterday morning that even if she loses in South Carolina, even if Trump trounces her, just as the polls are suggesting, even if this Republican nomination process continues to be some sort of humiliation ritual for Nikki Haley, she's planning on staying in the race, announcing to the world, in my opinion in very clear fashion, that Nikki Haley is here for two things and two things alone. The first, start new wars in a new American quest for endless bloodshed, and the second, continue this deep state operation to stop Donald Trump at any cost. The Republican nomination sabotage continues, brought to you and paid for by the Democrat Party and the Democrat elite. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so Nikki Haley announces to the world, to nobody's surprise, that she's staying in, because the evil orange man just must be stopped.
That's why I refuse to quit. South Carolina will vote on Saturday, but on Sunday, I'll still be running for president. I'm not going anywhere. I'm campaigning every day until the last person votes, because I believe in a better America and a brighter future for our kids. Nothing good in life comes easy. I'm willing to take the cuts, the bruises, and the name-calling, because the only way you get to the blessing is by going through the pain. Dropping out would be the easy route. I've never taken the easy route.
I know it's even worse than I presented initially. Nikki Haley announces not only that she's gonna stay in the race post-South Carolina primary, but that she's gonna stay in till the end, till the last state votes, because the kids in Ukraine. Or her new pitch, because the 80-year-olds with dementia must be stopped.
We're talking about the most demanding job in human history. You don't give it to someone who's at risk of dementia. You give it to someone who's disciplined, someone who can work day and night for 8 straight years.
Continuing to parrot this pathetic CNN MSNBC talking point that Donald Trump somehow is in cognitive decline. I mean, they literally took the whole "know you" thing to another level. I know you are, but what am I? Joe Biden doesn't have dementia, you do. Wow, I'm certainly convinced that the former president, who runs on 5 hours of sleep, runs multiple different companies, a portfolio in the billions of dollars, was a successful president, is now running, again, another successful campaign to become president for a second term, all while dealing with deep state attacks from every single angle, being illegitimately persecuted, hit with multi-$100 million fines. The guy who's taking all of that on his shoulders and still absolutely nailing it, calling things before they happen, conducting successful rallies and successful interviews. Yeah, that's the guy with dementia, who now I guess must be stopped from assuming power. Yeah, that's what Nikki Haley's running on, because it's so important for the country. It's so important that she delivers that message to the country, and that's why she needs to be president, even if that entire message is literally a lie and goes against what the majority of Republicans know and even want. Yeah, that's why it's so important that Nikki Haley stay in this race, because it's not just the kids who must be saved from 80-year-olds with dementia. Nikki Haley's running as a Republican by trashing the de facto Republican leader, as you guys can see on the graphic here. And that's a pretty low number. If he wins in 2024, that'll easily jump to over 90. But yeah, she's running on trashing that guy.
Politicians who now publicly embrace Trump, privately dread him. They know what a disaster he's been and will continue to be for our party. They're just too afraid to say it out loud. Well, I'm not afraid to say the hard truths out loud. I feel no need to kiss the ring. I have no fear of Trump's retribution. I'm not looking for anything from him. My own political future is of zero concern. So I hear what the political class says, but I hear from the American people too.
making the argument that Trump is bad for the Republican Party, even though a strong supermajority of actual Republicans don't feel that way. It's really important that she represent the minority view. That's essentially the argument. But the only view that she's representing, or rather the only people whose interests she's representing, is that of the corporate establishment puppet master class. She claims it's so important because she's representing all of these little Republican people, but it's impossible for that to be the case. Nikki Haley represents less than 20% of supposed Republican primary voters, but Nikki Haley is pulling in astronomically high fundraising numbers. Haley campaign started election year with $14 million after raising $17 million last quarter. She's raising tens of millions of dollars. From what, a couple tens of thousands of Republican voters? No, from corporate interest donations and the big Democrat uniparty class. She's such a monumental fraud, it's not even funny. Literally saying earlier that it's for the kids, but really it's for the shady businessmen controlling policy from behind the curtain. That and of course Democrats. She keeps going on and on about how Donald Trump can't win against Joe Biden. I poll better. And you know what? That may be true. Albeit both candidates are beating Biden, Nikki Haley does have higher numbers. But I'd argue that's more due to the fact that Democrats have a literal vegetable as their presidential candidate, offer Democrat voters Hillary Clinton in a Republican suit, and well, obviously you're bound to win over the geriatric octogenarian. Doesn't mean you're the right person for the job. It's just kind of an unfortunate circumstance. Nikki Haley is not a Republican. Nikki Haley is controlled opposition. Nikki Haley is fake through and through. Just like this moment from her campaign stop.
I wish Michael was here today. And I wish our children and I could see him tonight, but we can't. He's serving on the other side of the world, where conflict is the norm, where terrorists hide among the innocent, where Iran's terrorist proxies are now attacking American troops.
Some people might say that I'm out of line for saying that, but that was fake crying. You know, they can fall for it, I won't. She's gonna stay in this race to the bitter end using big Democrat donor bucks and big military-industrial complex bucks because she serves one purpose and one purpose alone. That's to stop the last guy from getting back into office who, you know, happened to preside over those 4 years of no endless war and no further conflict at least. Maybe it wasn't fake crying and maybe that's what Nikki Haley was crying about. Anyways, that's pretty much it. The suffering continues. Unfortunately, we got a little while longer of having to endure this weird Nikki Haley humiliation trial, which she actually alluded to earlier when she was suggesting that she's going to stay in the race despite the name-calling and attacks. The Nikki Haley psyop continues. That's the latest update with, of course, more to come. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.